I'm down here at the stunning Pantai Duyung just to give a brief update on what's going on down here and some excellent positive news that's come out of the government just recently, and I want to update you on that as well. Let's have a look at it. So the beach down here is looking great as usual, but there's been progress since last time I gave an update, and they've put a big fence up, and we knew that was going to happen anyway because they'd been digging the post holes when I was down here last time. And as we walk along, this fence continues most of the way along of the old restaurants down here. There has been a bit more demolition going on as well of the old buildings, just to confirm, hello, just to confirm that, yeah, things aren't going back to the way they were back in the day. You'll see that the fence there stops, yeah, and there's a gap, and that's the Kelompok Nelayan, or I think it's the Fishermen's Corporation. I mean, Nelayan means fishermen, so it's something to do with that. And that hasn't been affected, but certainly some of this demolition's going on over here. And you can see that what you'll often do when you demolish your house in Indonesia is you'll get people to come and demolish it, but they'll also salvage a lot of the scrap metal or the materials in there and resell them. Even things like toilets can sometimes be salvaged. Fittings, doors, people will come and salvage as much as they can quite often, and I'm assuming that's what's going on here. So the demolition continues apace, and we're really only, well, we're not even 3 weeks after the closing of these businesses, and they are now just fully, yeah, well, they're gone. Pretty sure this is the old Barramundi restaurant, that one. Well, it looks pretty dangerous. It looks like it might even fall down. It's pretty wrecked. Down here is the old Umba. I mean, this is not much different to what it looked like back in the day anyway, but just looking at the structure, it's a pretty rickety old structure. But in there, like, it looks like it's been shut down for years, even though that's only been gone for less than 3 weeks. I mean, people having coffee in there and having brekkie just 3 weeks ago, and now it's gone. The deck, I mean, the deck's still in pretty good nick, like really good nick. A lot of the glass was gone. I don't know. I thought some of the glass was smashed during some of those storms, but there's a lot more glass missing now than there ever was before. So I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know if people have taken it or what's going on. Roof caving in there. Just coming down a little bit further, like this is nearly the end of that section anyway. When you get down to the Coco Bistro place, that was the last, well, the second last place that was affected actually. So, and that's that place there. And then next door you got dude on the roof with a jackhammer, just jackhammering the roof. Here he goes. That looks like hard yakka. So let's talk about this positive news that I was referring to earlier in the video, because it's really going to impact a lot of people's opinion on what's going on right now. So my source is the balisun.com. They're an online newspaper, if you like, in Bali, and they're quoting government officials about the future of this place. And what they're saying is this. So I'm quoting here, the Denpasar city government has confirmed that it is funding and constructing a new public park and a series of public amenities in the area. So what this is suggesting is that there's not going to be a big beach club there or a big hotel like a lot of the panic on the online forums was talking about. It's more to do with them building some sort of park. Now, we don't need to go into ownership issues and all that sort of stuff, but the government's saying that's what they're doing. According to the article, the Sanur traditional village authorities don't know anything about it, but the mayor has been quoted in this article and has been asked directly. He's quoted as saying, the area will be arranged by the city government and that the area will be used as a park and public facility. Development is planned to begin in 2025 with funds raised from the government budget. So I'll put a link to the full article in the description below so you can read it as well. But that certainly sounds like absolutely fantastic news from the local government. And I just also, I guess, wanted to explain how local government works here in Indonesia, or governments in general. and the layers of government. You've got the national government, like you would in any country that looks after things like tax, defence, and those national issues, foreign policy. Then you've got provincial governments, much like you'd have a state in the US or in Australia, you would have states. They're provincial governments, and there's 30-something of those in Indonesia these days. And Bali is a province, as is in Java. You've got Banten, West Java, Central Java, East Java, and a couple of special regions as well. And below that, you've got a thing called a Kabupaten. Kabupaten is led by a Bupati. In the case of Sanur, the local government area here is actually what they call a kota, or kota madya. Yeah, so it's basically an independent city at the level of a kabupaten. And in Bali, I think there's 6 or 7 of those sorts of divisions. And so Denpasar looks after Sanur. And then underneath that, you've got Kecamatan. And then underneath that, you've got Desa and Lura. And if you want to go down further than that, you can start looking at the Kepala Lingkungan, you can start looking at the Banjar and that sort of stuff. But that's a less formal arrangement. Your formal government arrangements are quite deep here. And if you're looking, for example, at rubbish collection, you might go to the Lura, or you might go to the Kota. Depending on the issue, you go to different people for different things. So that's the context of who we're talking about here. The Mayor of Denpasar, who also looks after Sanur, so has a vast responsibility, is saying that this is going to be transformed into a park and another public facility, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, that as a park, yeah, imagine that coming straight out into a park onto the beach. I mean, it'd make Sanur the premier destination in Bali. I mean, it already is, but it'll make it even better, you know. So big props to the government, big props. I'm sure all visitors to Bali and residents of Bali will absolutely love a new park here in Sanur. We love public facilities. So that's the state of play down here at Pantai Duyung. The up-to-date information as it stands right now. I think it's going to be great if they can get that into a park this year. That'd be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And a lot of the fears that people had of this becoming a beach resort or beach club or something like that, if they go away, people are going to be so happy. Look, what do you reckon? I mean, I'm of the opinion a park is a good idea, but not everyone's going to be of that view. What do you reckon? Tell me in the comments what you think, whether it's a good idea, bad idea. I mean, whether you prefer to have the cafes and stuff as they were. I'd also like to give a big shout out to Bruce. And Bruce runs a YouTube channel about Bali and what's going on, and he digs really deep into things like press releases and government information, and really gets into the nuts and bolts of Indonesia, Bali, and he's been in Bali for a long time and really knows it like the back of his hand, and has a passion for Indonesia and Bali. He's not just here as a passenger. He's really involved in day-to-day life here, and I really enjoy his videos. He lives up in Singaraja, so I would recommend subscribing to him if you're looking for a little bit more information on Indonesia and Bali. He's really good to look at. And thank you to one of my viewers who linked to Bruce's video and let me know about this current situation down in Pantai Duyung. Thank you very much for linking to that comment. I really appreciate it. Give me a heads up so I can come down here and get the information myself on what's happening down here, and then referring back to that Bali Sun article, which has all the confirmed information in there. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur. I'll catch you next time.